Like,
He is. So let's
didn't.
go into the caucus because
Okay.
there's some exciting stuff out of the Iowa caucus.
Okay. For starters, freaking Trump came in second, took Ted Cruz with Rubio a
Whoop
close.
whoop. That's what I'm talking about. Go Iowa. Not really. I mean, you elected
Right.
Cruz, so fuck Iowa. But go Iowa. You didn't elect Trump.
Here's
Didn't
the
caucus for
thing
Trump.
that's going along with this. There was some silence from the Trump camp after of course, he came in second. He conceded and said, "Yep, good job," and then was quiet for a while.
He said he was honored to have finished in second, and then he gave Ted Cruz some praise, but he's a good guy, even though he had just said 2 days earlier that basically he was a piece of shit that sleeps with his sister. Um, and
Now he's back to piece of shit mode. Now he's
well,
back
I
to piece
hadn't
of
heard
shit
about
mode.
that. But what Trump should have said, and all that boistering and everything else to then come out in second, was not that I am honored that I am humbled to finish in second, because he didn't expect a loss and it got handed. He should have been humbled. I mean, anyways.
Right. Uh, yeah, he's back on the Ted Cruz is a piece of shit wagon, and the reason why is because two things. First of all, there was a flyer the Ted Cruz campaign put out that was saying, "Hey, Ben Carson's going to be dropping out of the race. You should go for me," sort of thing. A staffer put out that information, and so that's how he got a lot of his people. Was misleading the voters. On top of that, they then also had an actual mailer that went out that said that there is a potential voter violation. They sent out a campaign flyer, a mailer that looked like an official federal document saying that they were looking at a voter violation. So, was there some shifty stuff going around? That's what Donald Trump is actually saying. Hey, look, he cheated, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, as of 7:30 this morning, the 3rd of February, Trump sent out a tweet that says, based on the fraud committed by Senator Ted Cruz during the Iowa caucus, either a new election should take place or Cruz results nullified.
Yeah.
Man.
So, yeah. So he's back. That's a great picture of Donald Trump, by the way. The one that looks like he's like half handicapped there. Like, what's happening there? What is that? Like, he looks like the fat kid from the Goonies here.
That's... I don't know.
Donald, you want to become the president? You got to do the truffle shuffle, man. Come on, do the truffle shuffle. But yeah, so he's back on the Ted Cruz hate train. I guess Ted Cruz apologized. Oh, Trump really for Nobel Peace Prize nominees? Really?
What?
Really?
What?
Really, Trump? Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The world
How
is
many
going
motherfuckers got paid off for that shit?
My God. That's out of
Trump,
control.
who wants to do fucking internment camps for every fucking minority in the country, a peace prize. Are you shitting me right now? He wants to turn the desert to glass, and he is a peace prize nominee. What the actual fuck?
And people were giving Obama flack for his nomination.
There's
It's
no way he
ridiculous.
wins this. There's no way he wins this.
Oh, if he wins it, then the Nobel Peace Prize has lost its legitimacy.
Yeah, but the committee is irrelevant. Oh, you want a Nobel Peace Prize? Might as well burn that motherfucker because you ain't gonna get shit out of it. Oh my god.
Yeah, people like Malala, right,
Yeah.
deserve Nobel Peace Prizes. Orange, fucking Garfield-looking, truffle shuffle looking motherfuckers that want to put Muslims in internment camps don't get Nobel Peace Prizes.
Oh my god, man.
Let's make the Nobel Peace Prize great again. I'm gonna be the greatest, most perfect Nobel Peace Prize winner of all time. And if you disagree with me, I'm gonna have people beat you up and throw tomatoes at you.
That's crazy. And
Oh
Pope
my
Francis, what the hell has he done last year? He came to
He
America.
said some
Whoop diddly
things.
fucking do.
He said some things, but come on, he's still the Pope.
God damn it! I said some things. Put me in for a Peace Prize.
Yeah, I know. I said some good things.
Anyways, we are so far off topic. Trump lost Iowa. He came in second. But was it a loss? Was it really a loss? I mean, when we're talking about Bernie came in second, that's not a loss. Bernie basically won without winning. But for Trump, is this a loss? Is it really a loss?
Yes. Here's the reason why. Okay, this is the reason why it's a loss. First of all, okay, all cheating stuff aside, whatever. It's a loss because the polling put him in a position that he was supposed to win. They had him in favor of winning the Iowa caucus. And not only did he lose, but he lost by a fairly substantial number. Bernie Sanders...
7,000 final count?
Something like that. I can't remember the exact numbers. But Bernie Sanders, on the other hand, Hillary has always been projected to win the Iowa caucus. Bernie was a long shot in Iowa. Not only did he get within a fraction of a decimal point to tying with Hillary. Hillary barely won this. Barely won it. For somebody to be projected as not winning the Iowa caucus, to be that close to the supposed front runner, that's a win. And that's a win from the Bernie campaign because, again, this guy is grassroots funded. The people of Iowa that believe in Bernie Sanders are the people that went out, they mobilized, and they got him within a fraction of a point. That's a win.
Yep.
Trump, on the other hand, not a win. It's not a win. It's yeah, there's no other way to spin that. Trump was the front runner. Trump is the guy that has all the money. He has all everything. He was seated to win this, and he lost it.
But I think his campaign at the end of the Iowa caucus really showed that he doesn't have the slightest clue what he's doing. I mean, he did, you know, he comes out and he's just blasting everybody and their brother. Just he's fucking his sister, and he's low energy, and he's a worthless American. You know, just everybody he can think to throw an insult at, he's throwing it at, and then he does an attack ad that is just kind of completely out of left field. You expect it, but it's still kind of random. And then he comes out saying other things like I can shoot somebody in the street. It's like, what is his campaign doing right now? Because obviously, you know, like you said, he was supposed to win. That's out the window. He absolutely lost that, and I think his campaign tactics in the last 2 weeks are the reason that he lost that. That people were really like, it's kind of like hitting him on the head and knocking him out of the day. He's like, oh, shit, I almost voted for Trump. Thanks for waking me up.
Like they just woke up from an ambient-induced sleep and realized, oh, shit, I'm at the Iowa caucus.
They started...
Who? Trump?
It's because Trump put Carson out there, and then Carson fell off, and, you know, they were all still asleep from listening to him talk. And then it finally wore off, and there was like,
that's the other news of this. That's the other news of this. Again, we talked about True saying that Carson was thinking about dropping out. Carson was like pulling like single-digit numbers in the beginning of this, like terrible numbers. And then his camp after he lost the Iowa caucus, he was like, "Oh, we're going home for a change of pants or something. We'll be back," sort of thing. So people were like, "Is that his way of being like, I quit? Like, what is this guy doing?" Like, it was a really awkward moment of, what the hell are you talking about, Ben Carson? And wow, it used to be the front runner for a minute. Like,
well, that goes back to so Cruz's thing that came out. I watched an interview with his campaign manager, who I guess this was his brainchild to send this mailer out, which obviously he blames it on other people that, you know, well, we were just following the example of so-and-so's campaign from 2012, that they did the same thing. And what he said was, they said exactly what Carson said. But what Carson said was, well, after Iowa, we're going to go home, you know, for a couple days. Basically, I'm going to take a couple days off, and then we're going to hit it again. So essentially, I'm gonna take a break for a little bit. That was twisted in the spin cycle that is our fucking mainstream media right now into I'm gonna drop out of the race. By the Cruz campaign, we then sent out the flyers. So, a not not really a nice thing to do. Are we talking borderline illegal here? For it's kind of election tampering with false information. I don't know the rules on that.
Well, this sort of thing isn't new. I mean, in the Kennedy election, not in the presidential election, but in I think when he was running in for the Senate, I think is what it was. There were two Kennedys on the ballot. So, yeah, tampering with elections. Yeah, it's bad, but it happens. And what's the worst that's going to happen is a slap on the wrist. He apologized to the Ben Carson campaign and was like, "Hey, man, my bad," which is basically like, "Sorry, I got caught," sort of thing.
Sorry, you got caught sleeping.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Mr. Ambien himself.
But I guess what I'm getting at here is he didn't say that. He didn't say anything even remotely like that. But like you said.
Right.
In any official capacity, maybe a slap on the wrist, but the average voter is just going to blow this off. I mean, that's a big deal. That shows you the kind of person you're trying to elect as your nominee here, or put in as your nominee to elect for the most powerful job in the country, or in the world, arguably. And this kind of... it brings some serious trust issues. Not that we didn't already have them with Ted Cruz, but it really highlights the kind of person he is.
Well, again, we in the very beginning of this, when Carly Fiorina was rising, remember that we were talking about it, how essentially he was using her as a boost.
Yep.
Where do you see Carly Fiorina? Towards the back. And
When you told me
Cruz.
there was a second person that had dropped out, I expected you to say Fiorina. I was waiting on it. At this
She's
point,
not too far behind.
Yeah, well, Planned Parenthood kind of.
She's not too far behind.
So.
Yeah. But
Which,
again,
hey,
who's echoing the same sort of sentiments?
The
Ted
way
Cruz.
that worked out with Planned Parenthood, where this group creates false video, candidate jumps on it, becomes top runner. Maybe, just maybe, Cruz made that video. How's that for some conspiracy theory for you?
There we go. Let's put that in our unfounded.
Because it was already called. I mean, just hypothetically for a minute, it was already called that he was going to do that to Fiorina. He was going to boost her up just to knock her back down and take the votes. Because he did this in a previous election that he won. It's how he won. He boosted up a competitor so that they took the lead, and then he knocked them down. He took all their votes, and suddenly he wins. So like you said, we covered this, that this was going to happen when she was the front runner. And now that it's happened, how it happened really has to come into question, which is the Planned Parenthood video. I mean, that's really what the crux of Carly Fiorina's campaign centers around. Her looking like a valiant defender of helpless little babies, only to find out that she didn't do her fact-checking, and then she never backed down from it, even when everybody knows it's a bullshit video, and she's still sticking to it, which hurts her even more than just admitting she was wrong. I'm just saying, it's a possibility that knowing that Ted Cruz is going to do that, he may have commissioned this video, because now we're getting the indictments now that this video from the start was intended to show it in a negative light. And she's a woman candidate. She's I hate to be misogynistic or whatever word you want to throw at me for that, but it's kind of, you could guess she would jump onto something like this.
Well, here's the thing. They were all the candidates were jumping on it when it came out. The whole defund Planned Parenthood movement that's been going around the conservative movement for certain here. They've been trying to defund Planned Parenthood for a long time. It's just been relatively quiet because they haven't had any ground to stand on. And magically this video shows up, which those guys are getting indicted, by the way, or they got indicted.
Yeah, they did.
getting charged with fraud, I think is what it is. It's crazy that you have something like that pop up, and these candidates are immediately jumping on the bandwagon. Leafy Arena didn't get the memo that nobody else was playing it that way anymore. She's behind the times, and that's why
she doubled down on that shit.
Oh yeah, she fucking KFC doubled down that shit.
Even after they hadn't made the indictments yet, they did one of the news stations did an interview with her. They hadn't made the indictments, but it had come out that it was fraud. The stuff was coming, and they basically told her, "Are you willing now to say that you were wrong?" All of America knows this video was fake. It's out. Will you say you're wrong? And she's like, "Nope. I'm gonna stick to it." Like, all right. Well, that's why you can't be president. Check that box. If you like what you see, be sure to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and our page polypompous.com.